Yep. How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World by Harry Browne. This book is a read. It's a real read. It's intellectual, and it's dangerous too, especially for certain kind of government structures. I would say it's not anti. He's not anti-government with this. Some people have, I read some reviews online what other people had to say on Google and Amazon stuff, but it's not really anti-government on it. I'll go into it, but yep. But this is I read this book about maybe this was I read that book maybe about I don't know about a year ago. Then I ended up getting the audio and I listened to it again when I went on the trip. Um, yeah, but anyway, today's a good day. It's it's out at the park. Before I go on my little jog run, I like to start doing the audios, um, uh, the recordings for the reviews for the books. All right, but to get right into it, with Harry Browne's "How I Found Freedom in an Unfree World," is a lot of different things that he really went into. Again, he went into stuff about the government structure, about being able to find freedom, finding freedom within the government, finding freedom financially, and finding freedom within yourself and different structures. You go into like different syndicates, like mafia syndicates in the government, how a lot of it is similar, have a lot of similar qualities. Um, he goes into as far as why the government being so big and so and in order for them to implement something, anybody who is diligent enough to try to figure out their own way to stay ahead to make sure that you have your freedom, you will be able to maneuver and outmaneuver the large government. That's one of the things that Harry said in his book, which I'm shocked that he just made it so plain. Um, and he had a lot of quotes, a lot of things he would say, like you are free to the effect to take advantage of the government inefficiencies, meaning that there's certain things that the government needs to work on. Anybody that can think, in any kind of way, you can see that, and you have to be able to maneuver, and be able to outthink as far as with a lot of different areas. Um, Even going to like relationship stuff, which I didn't see that, and I didn't see that in any of the. I was just surprised when I read that before, the different relationship stuff that he had in there. He went into that. Of course, he went into the government stuff, but it was all about finding freedom. So it's about finding freedom within your government again, financially, relationship, and within you. He was saying as far as like even finding freedom, within a relationship. He's like, if you desire to have a companion, um, and you all achieve a mutual desire, you only need to convince that person. Everyone else doesn't matter. You only need to convince that person of y'all mutual desire. You know. Um, we talk different about different traps, like personality traps too, like certain places and certain industries that you may be in. They may want you to act a certain way and being able to get out of that, or in different neighborhoods, in different stages in life. He went in that. Like I said, I'm not trying to spoil the book, but it's really good. And then he said, don't waste your time with people who aren't compatible, with you, saying that the government is in some ways like this is a big trap, you know. And then so you got another quote where you say no government can stay ahead of an individual determined to stay ahead of it. Again, meaning that if you're determined to have your freedom, you don't need the government. You just need to work on it. And he said that this is your responsibility to take advantage and do what you need to do to have your own freedom, to diligently be working on your own freedom. That's what he's saying. You can't depend on the government. You can't depend on other people. Oh, that's another thing. He said with other people being involved, some people, when they figure out that a lot of the structures aren't correct, when you learn and you start reading stuff and you're like, wait a minute, this isn't good for me as an individual. It's good for the government, but isn't it good for me? You know, a lot of people try to rally a lot of people, he was saying, but he was saying you don't have to rally people. You could just break off and do your own thing, or get with a smaller group and y'all do your own thing. So, I don't know, man, I put on anything. Well, anyway, I'm out here jogging. I don't know why I see so many people with nice outfits and workout clothes when they jogging, and I don't know. I just feel like put on my old clothes and just wear that. And it's old anyway, but just dog out the old clothes. But whatever. But anyway, just different stuff like relationship stuff too. You know, he going to not to be, which I thought was key. You know, not to be jealous. You know, in a relationship, that because you always be that if you start off like that, and allow. What was this one? Oh yeah, he was saying to allow your spouse to, for them to choose you, not because you limited their options, but they've looked over the competition and they chose you. So that's another thing, and that's hard for a lot of people, to do. And then another thing with relationship too, he said, you want to enjoy what you like with your partner, and the things you like separately, do them separately. Like, just because you're in a relationship, y'all don't have to do everything together. You can still do things separately. You can do that. Definitely do things separately. So, and then oh yeah, and he had this one thing with his friend, and he said his friend, and I've been thinking about this probably for the last few months on this concept. Anyway, he said he has a friend of his who decided not to get into little petty confrontations and arguments over financial stuff like money. Like he said, if anything is under $10, he won't argue. Like if he go to the grocery store and he finds something and it's $8, and he thought it was $5, he just pay it. He won't even argue it. And he said, for Harry, he said he had to move his up to like $50 and $100, but he said that anything that's under $100, he doesn't argue. Like if he has a bill, even at a restaurant, if the bill comes and he thought that it should be 50, or he thought it was, I don't know. Let's just say he thought it was 50 and it came back and it was 80. It's under $100. He's just going to pay it. He's not going to argue about it. And he said he'd do that to keep himself focused on the bigger goals, bigger money, and not to get caught up in a lot of petty arguments like that. And I've been just thinking about that for a while. Like, wow, that's something. Some people may argue that point, be like, oh, you don't be giving away money, but I don't know. So anyway, I've been thinking about that concept for a month now. It's one of the things that I've been really wrangling with. We're looking at this, we're reading the book, but I don't want to get too deep into it. Again, I don't want to spoil the book. What else? But it's really good. A lot of strategies. A lot of different tax strategies. A lot of different ways, as far as like what to do with your money and stuff like that, and how to think, and ways that you could think. Something that's real controversial too. I'm sure a lot of people are not gonna like this, but he just said that a lot of ways where government is used as a structure to control people. He said that's one of the ways that Hitler did it. Like when he started taking over those countries in World War II, the first thing he did was take over the governments of those countries. And when you take over the government, then the government control the people. And if you think deep on that, you're like, wait a minute, that's some deep shit right there. Hitler went in, took over the government, then the government controlled the people. And I'm like, wow. So anyway, but that was something, and I that was, and I said, wait a minute. So if somebody, it goes deep. Like I said, you got to read it or listen to it, on audio. But it get deep. It gets you to thinking like how stuff really is how people think, how these deep thinkers really think and go into in the world. But anyway, not to be a spoiler, and I'll leave it at that. All right, I'm gonna go for my little jog run here that I call it jog run. All right, jog walk. All right, talk to you.